Introducing the new game that is taking over mobile phones this summer. It's called Matchmasters, and it's a player versus player match 3 game. So you get matched up with another player from anywhere in the world, or one of your mates if you fancy the bragging rights. And once you're in the game, all you've got to do is match 3 of these little icons. It's a fun and easy game to pick up and play wherever you are. So let's show you the game here live. I've selected this little booster. It's like a rubber duck that clears out the whole line. And these boosters are great because they can be the difference between a win and a loss in a match. Just waiting on my opponent because he's not very bright. I am getting beat right now, which is awkward, but I think I can make the comeback, and I'm on my way, and I've made the comeback. I'm 32-31. Brilliant. Oh, hammer time. You won't remember that. I barely do. All right, it's 44-32. We're going to use the hammer again. Oh, I've smashed him there. Welcome to fucking Brytown. 62-44, and we've got the fireworks off. Thank you very much. I will celebrate. I like it when they make a fuss out of us. This motherfucker's coming back. I'm the crocodile. They're the fucking bunny rabbit. I think we both know who'd win out of that fight. I'm actually destroying him now, so that's brilliant. Owned him. And I can't lie, that was probably better than watching Newcastle play for most of last season. Maybe I'll get a trophy for this. So if you want to have a bit of fun on Matchmasters, what you're waiting for, download the game now. It's free on both iOS and Android. You can download it using the QR code on your screen, or you can click the link in the description below. And when you do, you get access to a special starter pack that'll give you a big advantage on all the competition. So don't forget, download Matchmasters using my link, but for now, enjoy the video. Welcome back to the kickoff. Today's news: Ten Hag stays.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You lot what you lot are not going to do is be pricks about this moment, yeah? I'm really happy, yeah?
We're really happy.
We're
happy for you.
No, don't try it, lads. I know what's going on this table, yeah? And this table has been a nightmare for me last season. Next season, it's going to be totally
That's why
different.
we're happy.
No,
We're
you're
happy.
not. No,
We're
you're
happy.
not happy.
Why is it going to be different?
Mate, we're happy in the same way INEOS are happy.
Yeah.
They were happy that Tuchel didn't want the job. They were happy that Poch didn't want the job.
No, I don't
Southgate.
think
Ipswich's manager didn't want the
No,
job.
no.
I watched KG's video,
Yeah.
and he was like, see, the media said he wasn't going to stay. Shows they didn't have a clue what they were talking about. And I watched that and I thought, no, they didn't want him to stay. Man United tried.
They had meetings with every other
They literally
manager.
went
they-
everywhere.
yes.
And they didn't find a suitable replacement, so they thought, we'll just let him take it
Imagine your missus goes on a date with a different bloke every night of the week, and then on a Sunday comes home and goes, I'd like to stay with you, darling. How would you feel?
80-20 rule. She went out and realized the grass ain't greener, and she's got 80% at home. This is what happens, bro. I'm telling you, and I don't want to bring up certain Man City players, but I'm telling you, go outside and you realize I like what I got at home, and now you're doing
Yeah,
crap.
but isn't it just better if they just don't go outside?
Huh? No, it's mad. Look, check
And
this
it's
out.
better if they just hadn't
Let's
interviewed
get this
other
right
people.
now. Let's get this right now. Raise your hand if your team won silverware last season. Boom! Just me. Hold on.
we did win a pre-season
Put
trophy.
your hand down.
Just
Put
to
your
say.
hand. Everybody, put your hand
We
down.
won the Community
We
Shield.
won.
That's the
And
same
you
level
lot,
as your
you lot
FA
was
Cup.
giving it. You lot was no, it's not. You know that's not true as well. We won a cup, yeah, and I'm telling you right now, none of you lot believed in it. None of you lot believed in that moment. I'm telling you now, I can say it on record. Where's the camera? Here's my camera. Man United will be successful next season. Man United will win many trophies next season. I'm saying 2.
Okay, so let's...
You're saying
let's,
2.
let's-
You're
yes.
saying 2 trophies.
Let's do this.
Which
Let's
ones?
break this
Which ones?
down.
Europa League, FA Cup.
Okay. Let's break this
Why?
down. Let's
Why
break
is it
this
funny
down.
again?
Let's break this down.
Why can't we
right?
defend our
Let's
cup?
talk about INEOS, right? Because if we're looking at
Yes.
the track record up to now
Yes.
with INEOS, as an outsider looking in,
Yes.
when INEOS bought the club, I was a little bit, bought into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit like, okay, this could be very serious. They could really... And Sir Jim,
Yeah.
with his stature and the way he speaks, he came across with an air of confidence, arrogance
Rich
even.
billionaire.
Which, gives you a feeling as a competitor of maybe this is going to be someone who can be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. Every single move up to this point now could not have made me feel more confident that this man is a fucking imbecile.
No, he's not.
And has not a clue. Just let me finish.
I'll listen.
The Dan Ashworth situation could not have been handled worse. Literally, we've now got a situation where Ashworth is dragging Manchester United in a situation where they've been clearly tapping him up and breaking the rules. But I'm not even bothered about that. But they've now not got Dan Ashworth.
Yes.
And that man is sitting in a fucking garden apparently somewhere. Right? Didn't go well.
That you're paying for.
You then, the days before the FA Cup, provably leaked the fact that you had no faith in the manager, wanted to change the manager. Absolute shambolic, amateur, rank amateur behaviour from an owner of a club. Since then, the man wins the cup.
Yep.
So you're thinking, at that point, you should do what you want him to do. If that's what you were going to do all along, you give him the job immediately. Go, we've decided we back the manager. Instead, you then offer out every single possible lady in town who all seemingly reject you.
Yep.
According to who was the coach of Bayern Munich? Sorry, Tuchel. He basically put a statement out going, "It's not me. I'm not doing that. I'm going to have a time out." Maybe that was a mutual thing, but I don't think so. Given that they interviewed him,
all I'm saying is
he probably heard what they were offering and thought, "Fuck this." But maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm wrong. But the fact that you've cut your manager's balls off in broad daylight, humiliated him in public, shows the level of power that Ten Hag is going to have over those players right now. Is the bare minimum any manager in the Premier League has. Every footballer in that dressing room knows our chairman doesn't really believe in you, and one bad half a season, you're gone, mate. But so this couldn't have gone worse.
Well, listen, I'm going to fill in the colours, you know what I mean? Because there was a good outline that he painted, but you got things wrong. This is what the main thing that you got wrong right now is they had to do their due diligence. They had to go and check, because end of the day, they've taken over this club. They need to know, they need to interview managers. They need to see what's going on and compare him to what they have at home. Now, what he did look at, he spoke to Tuchel. They spoke to McKenna. I don't think they wanted to give McKenna the job. I know Gareth Southgate was someone that he really considered. That scared me. That's the first time that, as a Man United fan, when we were linked to Gareth Southgate, I thought, what the hell's going on? The last time this guy worked was 2000 and something, Middlesbrough, and he's never won against Man United. I looked at his record against all the other big teams. Gareth Southgate should never be in a contender. Anyway.
Have you heard the rumour?
What's that? Say he's going to get a job later.
The new contract's got a clause in it that means they can sack Ten Hag quickly and get Southgate in.
It's not going to be that. What kind of contract is that? That don't even make sense. By the way, we're going to just get rid of you for Gareth Southgate. It doesn't make sense, guys. What they're doing right now is they've looked, they've checked, and they're saying one thing that you can do is with the youngsters, don't forget our route to the final. We beat Liverpool and beat Man City. That has some cachet. Even if you can say, this guy's a fraud, this guy's whatever, but they think about mitigating circumstances. You're talking about 63 different injuries, illness, and that with this squad. You can't deal with that. Now, if Man United, they're saying that they have a structure. They brought in these people, even if we can cuss and say Dan Ash was crap. We got Wilcox, we got Omar Barada. We said that we finally got a team, and they're changing his title to head coach. You don't have the same power, but you're still, with me giving you a new contract, that now tells the players that I'm here to stay, you're going. And that's what Jadon Sancho, he ain't going to be here anymore.
You mentioned head coach. The reason they've changed that is because of the nightmare of a transfer window he brought and the hundreds of millions that were wasted by this man. So obviously that's impacted that. But the way you described that, they had to go and do their due diligence.
They had to.
We, all football fans here, we've been following football decades around the table. Tell me a big club that has ever openly embarrassed their manager, put them on ice after winning a trophy, and literally went and interviewed a bunch of managers and then settled on him. Tell me any time that has happened.
Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's done that. Bayern Munich was totally foolish. Bayern Munich said that he can't have the job. First of all, Bayern Munich had a manager. I'm talking about Flick that won them won them everything. And then after they said, "Nah, guess what? We're gonna get." Was it Nagelsmann that came in next? Yeah. And then after they went in for they got Tuchel. Tuchel, they said he's getting sacked, and then they begged him to stay.
You're comparing Man United to one of the worst run clubs in the moment.
I'm saying that you said
Great
tell
comparison.
me a time.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying tell me a time. And I told you
they are chaotic.
No, but in the Premier League,
end of the day, and then after
the Premier League,
let's not even get to what you lot have been doing.
Hold on,
let's not get to what you've been doing. I went to Germany and I thought, hold on, I can talk about the problems at home, bro, because you men know better. I'm hearing that.
Well, no, but hold on, for right or for wrong, when Chelsea have gone out and done it, at least we stuck to our guns and actually then told the manager.
Wait, hold on. You're going to look me in the face right now and tell me, they searched far and wide and Maresca's what they came up with.
Are you going to look me straight in the eye and say that Tuchel isn't a better manager than Ten Hag?
I want to hear from that man right now.
I'm telling you right now, one thing that this shows unequivocally is that Manchester United don't have a fucking clue of what they're doing. And they've tried everything, they run out of ideas, and they settled on, let's just stick with this guy. That's what it's smack. And look, it might
work. It's going to work out. It's going to work.
But the issue is with the recruitment, with the Dan Ashworth situation, and with the constant, we won't be held to ransom by these clubs. I'm afraid, Sir Jim, game. It's called paying the going rate, you fucking arsehole. You know what I mean?
Now, listen, check it out.
He's doing it with Everton. He's doing it with Branthwaite. He's doing it with Dan Ashworth. This man is delusional. He thinks he can walk in.
70 million.
And let's be clear, the state he's left the French club in ain't fucking amazing. So the track record ain't mind-blowing.
It's not.
And everything I'm seeing from Man United right now is being like, what are you doing here?
Now.
Because if let's be clear, if he had a plan and there was a clear execution of that plan, the way he has handled the last 2 months, it's shambolic, mate. It's not giving someone who really knows what they're doing.
But here, they've never spoken. They've never. What the funny thing is, the whole thing.
They didn't want to speak because they didn't want to reveal. We don't know what.
No, but then again, you can't say other people leak this information when the pro Chelsea journalist that came out and said, what's it, Jacob Steinberg? He was the one that leaked that we spoke to McKenna, and it made sense for Chelsea because Man United are playing the biggest game of their life that has a reaction. It has whatever happens in this game affects Chelsea.
It wasn't just him saying it. It wasn't just him saying it, though, was it?
No, but I'm saying he was the one that ran out with the
Why
with
did
information.
you talk into this guy when you've got an FA Cup final to prepare for?
Because everyone believed, like everyone at this table, we was going to lose. And I understand it because I had to be drunk to say Man United are going to win this game. But I just had a feeling. And now,
winning an FA Cup, is that enough for you to completely rewrite?
Well, FA Cup saved... FA Cup saved Sir Alex, and I'm not saying he's Sir Alex, but I'm saying the FA Cup did save Sir Alex. We can't...
Did it get you goal difference?
FA Cup, no, it didn't. No, it didn't, but it gave me a trophy. That's something that you lot didn't have. Something that you lot didn't have, by the way. Something, it's a reputable cup, and you lot don't have one of those right now.
Stop with that, it's bollocks.
It's true.
That argument is stupid.
Yep. What did you celebrate at the end of the season?
Mate, I didn't celebrate anything, but our fucking owners weren't trying to sack Arteta.
I went to Wembley.
Our owners weren't doing due diligence, interviewing every other fucking manager who was ready to take the job.
And how long does Arteta get before you say that, what'd you call it, maybe next season you're saying he has to win something, right?
You know, if he gets minus goal difference, I might start asking...
No. Yeah. If he doesn't win a major trophy, because it's about trophies. Let's not pretend that it's not. It's about trophies. It's about good things.
You win trophies by winning games. You lost 14 Premier League games.
I understand that, but again, what would you now not take a trophy? You love
We've
that.
Got one. We've got an FA Cup under Arteta. We've done it. We're done.
That was a long time ago with Emery's players.
Your biggest achievement, we did it in 6
weeks. With Aubameyang and them man there. What about with these man? I'm saying he has to win something. You man have had no European success. You don't, in the cup competitions.
No
you haven't been good enough.
You went out in a fucking group stage while we went into a knockout stage.
And what did you do?
It doesn't matter.
Same old Arsenal, bro. Next season,
you're not
we're going to be better next season. But again, I won't be in the Champions League, but I can say confirmed that you are not going to win it. And I know you're never going to win it. I know that. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what?
I know that Arsenal are shit. They're never going to win anything.
You can go to the bookie today and you can put money on Arsenal not winning the Champions League. I can't do that about your club because you're not fucking in it.
But we can win the Europa.
Okay.
There you go.
We got two comedians. So let's talk about actually what we see the Ten Hag next season looking like because they've given him it now.
Yes.
So... in theory, you should not get the same amount of injuries again.
Yes.
Right? And even still, I just hope, for God's sakes, that there's no excuses because after having 400 million over 2 seasons, and you're going to get more money, and now it's not even in his hands, surely, what is progress? What are you expecting from Ten Hag now?
2 cups. I know you lot think this is crazy.
No, league position. Because you know what? Can we clarify? Because you can fluke a cup. You can't fluke. Your league position doesn't lie.
2 cups.
So what? Third place.
Third place.
That's what I would like. That's not bad.
Mate, but where's that? No. Let me ask. Where's that coming from? Like, where is this confidence coming from?
You're going to go from negative goal difference to third place.
Yeah. You kept the manager. The squad's still the same. You haven't signed any new players. So, like, honestly, I want to know where's the confidence.
How do you see that?
This is how I see this developing. And by the way, let's not forget that, again, I know we're not Arsenal, but it went from 8th, 6th to challenging. I don't know how it happened. It happened. Yeah. You bring in what Man United need is a spine. Now, again, he's made mistakes this season. Ten Hag can never be able to say, I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing I didn't play a part in this. Ten Hag played a big part in this. Now, what he can do is you get a fit centre back. You have a fit, a fit midfielder that complements Kobe and Bruno. And you have extras in terms of support when it comes to strikers.
Are you worried about Bruno's rumoured transfer?
Well, again, if Bruno does go, there'll be big money for him. We're not going to let him go on the cheap.
Arguably, they need to sell. They need to sell him.
Does your first priority? Does your first priority not more hinge on getting players out the door? Because you say about bringing these players in, you got like Varane, who obviously
he's gone. He's
leaving.
He's gone. Another problem. Jadon Sancho's gone.
Casemiro.
Jadon Sancho isn't gone. Jadon Sancho is not. He's going to be gone. To who? Because no one's. Because Sir Jim has a delusional state of mind where he thinks he can get X amount of dollars. He is going to fucking.
But someone's going to come in for Jadon Sancho.
I don't know, mate.
You lot all telling. Wait, hold on. What one is it? You lot all telling us we're stupid. We didn't recognize how good this player is. And look at him. He's in the Champions League final. Now all of a sudden he's not good enough to play with anyone.
Because the reason is you've done the dumb deal in the first place of putting him on massive wages. So everyone else is going to look at that and go, would I want Jadon Sancho like Newcastle? Yeah, we would.
Yeah,
but not for the price that you need him for.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're fucked.
But he has to go for something. So even if we'll take a short, we like it or not, the sins of the past have caught up with us. We can't do nothing about the mismanagement of funds and the mismanagement of spending. That's why Ten Hag's role has changed. But then you can't tell me even that thing that you're talking about with Greenwood, Juve. That's DiMarzio is the one that's breaking that. But he's been quick with a lot of things. DiMarzio saying Juve is already putting a 25 million bid. Man United are holding out for 40. That's so we are actually that is happening. That one is happening.
What about the striker? Do you think because Højlund,
Ivan Toney?
Do you think you're going? Yeah?
Ivan Toney again. Like Man United, we need a couple bastards in the team. And like it or not, even though he's not as exciting as he once was, there was a moment when Arsenal you could imagine where Ivan Toney could have picked his places. This is probably while he's on the ban.
Didn't Radcliffe literally just do an interview where he said he wanted to sign under 25 players?
He did say that, but he said that we might need to bring an older striker because we can't have two. How many young players do you want to have in this team? You still need someone that's been there.
You're putting too much reliance here, though, on the board about getting these players in, aren't you? Because when you look at it, right, we're already saying that potentially Man United aren't paying up the going rate, at least, what is expected of the players they want to bring in.
Yeah.
Also, we speak about players that are going to be harder to move on. Let's say, for example, if they don't want to accept 25 million for Mason Greenwood, will Mason Greenwood go? If they don't want to accept a cut price deal for Jadon Sancho, will Jadon Sancho go? I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility that you start next season with a collective of players that ideally Man United fans might not necessarily want there. And then what's it come down to?
He won't go on tour with Jadon. He won't be. Them players won't be in the team.
Okay, but say for example, right? You mentioned a top quality centre back brought in. If you don't want to pay up the money for Bramthwaite, right? If, for example, you don't manage to move on a few of these players, if you start the season in this position, because so far, whether it's for right or for wrong, what we're saying is the board haven't come in there with a game plan straight away, ready to act on it, much like Chelsea owners actually have, for example, right? Let's say you start the season without moving on some of the players that need to go and without bringing in some of the players that need to come in. Then it comes down to one thing and one thing only, doesn't it? Ten Hag's management.
It does, but right now the ball is in INEOS's court. It's in the off season.
It feels like that's the easy excuse though as well. Like not every manager gets the ideal scenario from the board, but it feels like Man United fans for so long have hated their board, and I do understand why. Yeah, but I feel like Ten Hag's been given a lot of grace given how much money he's been spending. Yeah, and next season, whatever the scenario,
there's no excuses.
There can't be.
There's no excuses.
And Man United fans have to accept now that he's got another season. Yeah. Third season. It is on him now.
Now, this is one thing you can say. In this time of his job being on the line and them interviewing all these people, he's known about that. He's shown character. Even him coming in and speaking.
He's been sunbathed.
He showed character before this. The FA Cup in.
I'm like, know what I mean?
I'm talking about in the lead.
He's got him.
He's got me there. In the lead up to this FA Cup final, you heard his job was pretty much gone. Yeah. He knew that they was having conversations. He knew that these interviews have happened. You have to show character to get over the line because they started talking to them from that Crystal Palace game when he got decimated, Mateta and them, man. Yeah, he knew from that moment, bloody hell, these are moving on. But he had a little bit of it within him when he was fighting back with the media and says, listen, we can do something. The final day, he gave a speech and he's won the FA Cup. Like it or not, he coached this team to do that.
When you say about about him getting over the line though. Like, he didn't show that much character and didn't get over that much.
Well, no,
line.
you can't beat.
He won the FA Cup. He didn't have the end of the season that Pochettino had. He won a game. He won a game in 90 minutes. But when you say he showed the character to when the rumours started coming about, from that point, the form was what it was.
Let's not forget Crystal Palace.
We had Crystal Palace, and I'm saying that's when literally after that, and we did make changes from the Arsenal game. We tried to change the way we approached how we played Arsenal, and he's always preparing. That's when he dropped the striker and he went with the false nine. This guy was preparing for this final, so we can say that
April and May.
But I'm saying, but even if it was a bad time to make the change. He probably should have become more pragmatic before, but he was stubborn.
I definitely think that, and like for that FA Cup final, when the starting lineup came out, I remember thinking, fair play, he's done the obvious thing to do. That's the thing that would also worry me if I was a Man United fan, is that starting lineup for Palace, for example. There's been multiple times where you go, it's obvious that this ain't going to work. And it's taken them a long time to catch on to the obvious. So that's why next season, Man United fans should be watching him like a hawk.
They will be. There's Man United fans that want him to leave right now.
But
there's Man United fans that do want him to leave. They're not happy about it.
But you've shown a lot of support, and I kind of give you credit for it, because you must be a glutton for punishment at times, because fuck me.
Nah, mate. I'm a glutton for winning trophies.
But look, you have
2 trophies in 2 years.
And somehow, that is a bit of a madness, right? The fact that Ten Hag has been that bad that season and still got a trophy.
We weren't winning. Man United was not winning trophies for a long time. We had a couple wins with Mourinho, and was like, bloody hell, if it gets to the point where...
That wasn't good enough.
No, I'm saying Mourinho, I made a mistake in the Mourinho time. I chose Pogba, and I was player FC in that time. I can honestly admit that. I was thinking, why is he coming down on this player? Love this guy. You know what I mean? And in the end, the rot continued, where the players were just ruling the roost and doing a madness. Now, I think some Man United fans have seen the error of their ways. Let this man run it.
Okay. You've made your position clear. Let me go around the table now. How are we feeling as opposition fans about what we expect? Because on the one hand, Ten Hag has managed a fucking trophy and our clubs didn't. So fair play. I don't know how the fuck he's done it. But on the other hand, everything we've seen in terms of all of the working out, it looked shambolic a lot of last season. The worst version of Rashford we've seen. Bruno Fernandes carrying them, and a really disorganised team. Are we expecting him to transform this over the summer?
I'm not expecting it, but at the same time, it wouldn't shock me. I said this towards the latter stages of last season. It wouldn't surprise me if Man United had a better season next season than they did last. In fact, every probability says they've got to have a better season. They do have decent players in there, and once they bring players back from injury, I understand it. But the main thing that I would say is there's too much of a reliance here on a board that at this club we haven't seen operate yet. We haven't seen anything from them to be able to say, right, they're going to come in, they're going to get the transfers right. So far, no one's telling me that Ten Hag's talent ID is going to hold him in good stead at Man United. I just don't think it's there.
They're not even going to listen to him by the sounds of it.
Exactly, right? So I just think that, especially now the seed has been laid, when you went and interviewed these other managers, when you explored the options, the seed's then been laid. I just don't think he survives the first bad run of form.
Apparently they're signing a new deal with him. So what would be really, really funny for us, obviously, not for KG, but is if they sign him a new 3-year deal and then he has 6 months of hell, continuation last season, they sack him and have to spend a whole load of money. What's your thoughts, Josh?
I just think the expanded contract is a bit mad, isn't it? Like, I understand when you're trying to back your manager, but for me, any other club in the top 6 wouldn't be giving him an additional contract.
Is that them going, sorry for interviewing other people?
Sorry, on the date night. It's a guy that's cheated. It's a guy that's cheated
and he's popped out a ring.
Bought out a promise ring and said, we can have a family now.
I think what concerns me
to be fair, that's always worked for me. So.
It's a contract with a worse job title on it. It's a contract with a demotion on it. It's a contract going from manager to head coach.
What concerns me the most as well, right, is that Man United, I think you would even admit this, you need to go through a complete rebuild. In terms of transfers, you need probably 5 players. And not only do you need 5 players, you also need to replace Sancho and Rashford, because they're not going to stick around under this new manager.
I think him and Rashford have a good relationship. That's what I'm saying.
What? Where's that come from?
Rashford does a lot of walking for someone who's got a good relationship.
That is not a good relationship. How has that come from? Where? What are you seeing?
What substantiated claims right now that you're making? Right now, I'm telling you, him and Rashford have a good relationship. He's put his arm around Rashford, and where can I make that claim from? Well, first pre-season, he said he put his arm around him and said, this guy is going to do something. He believed this guy could score 30 goals a season. That's why he only bought one more player.
That, but Rashford has, for the first time in his whole career, lost his England place under this manager. Yeah. I don't think personally that Marcus Rashford is the type to look within himself and blame it all on him. I feel like there will be a little friction.
The England one will do that.
There may be some friction towards Ten Hag from that. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know Sancho needs to fucking go.
This was the time, I really do believe this. This was the time to turn the page, close the book on the Ten Hag era and move on, because that's the only way you're going to be able to integrate players like Sancho back. I know you're saying it's going to be relatively easy to sell him. I think it's the complete opposite of that. You're going to have to get a lot of money and you're going to have to offload a lot of wages. Much like the way your club's being run at the moment, you have high wages, which is therefore difficult to sell. If you don't sell players, then FFP is difficult, because as much money as you ever bring in, you then can't afford the new players to come in, right? You need to completely change your strategy, get the new players in, get young players in that then grow and develop, right?
And then again.
But the thing is we aren't seeing that thing. You need to move really quickly in the transfer window, because all of the best young players will be gone. By July and August, they will be gone. Chelsea will have snapped them up. Arsenal would be looking at them. Even Spurs, Villa are making serious moves already, even if they have got FFP concerns.
And they haven't got the director of football in place because they're not willing to pay the money. So that's on hold, and you've now just cut your manager's balls.
So this is the thing.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a real question? Yeah. Do you believe Ten Hag is good with young players?
I absolutely do. I think that's one of actually his most redeeming qualities.
That's one of his redeeming qualities. Yeah. So now, again, you already saw him even in the final talking to there's Wheatley. There's a couple players that are in that academy that are going to come through. He doesn't feel any pressure of bringing up the young players. And even when the INEOS are making their decisions, they know that. If you're saying with all the financial issues and burdens that we have to promote, and those kids are actually winning trophies. Those youngsters are actually winning. So it's like, well, guess what? We might even focus on that, because he can't, when it's the prima donnas and the players that he can't get to run from it. He needs players.
But remember, they've got to be integrated in a time where it's going to be the most pressure in a club, not only on the manager, but on them as individuals. So Cobby, I think he's done an unbelievable job. Like, he's come out of nowhere and has succeeded in a high pressure situation. There's no guarantee that other players won't do that. What was your defender that came in at the tail end of last season? I think he didn't deal with the pressure. So he had quite a few mistakes.
No, he didn't have many mistakes. Kamawala didn't have many mistakes.
But regardless of whether they dealt with the pressure or not, you speak about Kobbie Mainoo there. Personal accolades, he got a lot of plaudits for this season. Ultimately, it didn't result in Man United finishing any higher. Garnacho had a good season at times.
But they're going to get better. They're going to get better, whereas, other players, Casemiro is going to get worse.
But I'm not saying you are, but if you're banking on the fact that Ten Hag's good with young players and you're going to bring through a few of the youth academy products and they're going to get in the team, they're going to establish themselves, they may well do, but that still may well not result in you finishing higher up.
Is he good with established players? Because
that's the part where he struggles. That's the part where but then again, if you've got these young players running through brick walls for you, you will be successful. Even like it or not, you're saying, what can it do for you? Well, those two players scored in the final.
But we've evaluated managers for time. When we look back at lower managers in the league, we see how they deal with average footballers and they get the most out of them. But the question is always, but what are they like with the biggest stars? At Ajax, you don't have that situation. You're overachieving. You're in the Champions League. You're doing wonders. At Man United, all these established guys, Ronaldo, Rashford, Casemiro, I don't think he's handled them as well as he could have done. Yeah. And I think that's another unanswered question that he has to actually sort out this year.
Do you know what it reminds me of? And it's a lot of people make the comparison with Arsenal in terms of like the evolution Man United needs to go on. Yeah. We played a Europa League final against you boys. Absolutely spanked us. Remember?
Great game. I remember it vividly.
End of Emery's first season. Now, Emery's first season, there was a lot of good times. There was an unbeaten run at the start of it, and there was a lot of stats nerds telling me this isn't actually working. This isn't actually good. And the big one, we conceded way too many shots. You conceded more shots than Luton Town last season.
Yep.
Right? Now, after that game in the Europa League, I was like, I think we should move on from Emery. I don't think it's working. We had a similar thing. Smith Rowe would come through, Saka would come through. Oh, the young guys are doing well. The established guys were not doing well. We had a lot of players on big contracts we should have moved on from. Yeah. I was like, we should get rid of Emery now. We let him go into the next season. We waited till January. We got rid of him then.
Yeah.
If he'd have won that trophy, that Europa League, maybe we'd have given him a contract.
Yeah, he would have done.
You're doing what we didn't do.
Yeah, and then how
you're sticking with
Emery's
something.
a good manager.
Emery's a good manager. Everyone at this table knows that we did the right thing by going to Arteta.
I don't know.
And everyone's been saying for a long time that what you guys need to do is find your Arteta. You need to rip up some bad contracts.
Yeah.
You need to put faith in good players.
This could be it. This could be it.
This isn't it.
This could be it.
Well,
You
This
don't
is a
know.
continuation.
We got to round this up. We got to round this up just roughly. You've said top three.
Top three,
Man United.
two trophies.
What group of teams would you put Man United next season? Top
Well, the
six?
bookmakers,
Top eight?
just quickly, the bookmakers all favour Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs to all finish ahead of Man United next season at this moment in time. And I think you're around joint with Villa. I would say that probably Man United are looking at a sixth place finish next season.
I definitely fancy Newcastle to finish above Man United again.
Your manager getting sacked.
Mate,
The one.
mate, you know what?
Last season.
I don't know if you've seen
I'm
Isak
committed.
just hit this goal top corner from Sweden from outside the box.
Doesn't mean anything.
He's not going anywhere.
Don't you have an FFP
We don't need to
situation?
worry about.
Don't you have an
We don't need
FFP
to worry about.
situation?
Oh, can we get a striker?
Do you only have an
So-
FFP situation?
Okay, we'll leave it. We'll move on.